Okay, called. Let me save it and show you. See, it got called. That means for your UI and your controller, uh, whenever you fire an event, then your control will be called because you bind the event with the function name. Okay, now it's time to understand what is the component and what is the event and what is the helper. Okay, so component is nothing but a your lightning component. So from where you're calling that event, using this component you can access all your component elements, either elements or attributes. I'll explain you what attribute exactly, but as of now concentrate on the HTML tags. So you can access all your input elements or whatever the elements you have declared, attributes you have, elements you have declared inside that particular component. So you can access, if for example if you want to fetch the first name value, you can fetch it. Okay, so and event is nothing but which event has called this function. So for example you want to dynamically, you want to know that which event called which event or which tag called this function, this JavaScript function. Using the event attribute you can get those details. And what is the helper is nothing but a helper class. This is also another JavaScript class which act as a helper. So I will explain you what is the helper in maybe in next video. So right now it's not that much important, and just to try to understand component and event. Okay, let's go back in component. Now so let me copy this entire code. I'm pasting here. So what exactly I'm doing, and you can just, since I have used this CMP, let me write the CMP. Names are no need to be exactly same. So you can mention anywhere, but order is important. Okay, now CMP, I just give the CMP. So what I'm doing here exactly, just inside the component, if you see, I created two text fields, first name and last name. Now I want to validate whether the user has entered a first name or not. So I mentioned the required is true. Just I want to validate whether user has entered a first name or not. So how I can find, using the component, I'm getting the first name attribute from the HTML. So this find will return the element of first name. So it will return the HTML element. This component find, it will return the HTML element. And so all lightning colon input tag will give you the validity option. So if you are using get v dot validity, it will return the validity object. So using the validity object, you can find that object is valid or not. So what I'm doing, I'm using the v dot validity, and it returns the validity, and using the validity I'm checking whether it is a valid or not. What is the valid? If user, since I have mentioned this component required is true, so user must enter the value. If user not enter the value, then this validity will return the false. If he is entered, this valid will return the true. So let's run and execute. Okay, let me save. Okay, I already saved. Go back and refresh your screen. Okay, now I'm not entering anything, just I'm submitting. See, his first name is valid false. So that means it's saying that I didn't enter the, since I didn't enter the value, it's saying that it written the false. And last name also I didn't enter, so it's written the false. Let enter something. Okay, Krishna, and submit. So I entered the first name, so it's giving the true. I didn't enter the second value, so it's written the false. Let enter second value as well. Okay, click on, it's written the true, and valid second also I entered, it's written the true. So actually this is the way you will validate, but in real time your form may have multiple values, that means your form may contains uh, 10 15, think like your sign up page or any other big pages, it may contain more than 10 input fields. You want to validate all the values. So how you can validate? It may not be a feasible option to validate individual component like a component find. You may not, if you write every component and you're finding, then it is not that much not looks that much good. And also to increase the code quality, you may have to write in a single shot. So how you can write in that way? So let me show you. Let's copy this one. I'll explain you. Okay, now if you see here, now do what you need to do is just change that all the, give the same id name. Okay, save it. Okay, now let's run it and I'll explain you how this code is working. Okay, see, please update the invalid form entries and try again. Okay, complete this field, it's showing. So let me explain what's happening here. So I bind the on click event and this is the function declaration. And if in this, what I'm doing is component dot find of field. So what is the field? I have given the IDs. So with the ID there are multiple components. So there are multiple HTML components, HTML tags with the same ID. So it will return the group of HTML elements. So it will return the array. So I have a reduce function. So reduce function usually run on the array. So what it will do, reduce function will run on the each element of this particular array. For example, in our scenario, it will return first name and last name. So it will start with the first name, and what is, so it will start with the first name and first element, and it will run. It will take the first element and it will run, and take the second element, it will run. So for example, it will take the first element. What is valid so far? Valid so far is nothing but, since uh, what is valid so far? Valid so far, it will if it is the previous value, previous field is valid or not. Since there is no previous field, it will gives you the true value. And input component, the input component of the in our case is the first element, first name. First name is the, since it is running first time, so first name is the input component, HTML tag. So what is doing in the second line, input component does show help message if invalid. So if this component is invalid, that means if we have it, if we mention the required is a true, then but user has not entered anything, it will so that is the invalid. So what we are saying, if it is the invalid, then show the help message. If you see, it's showing the help message. If you want to customize your help message, you can customize as well, but it's showing that default help message, complete this field. So we are saying that if it is the invalid, then we are asking to, we are saying that we should show the help message. And this is actually a condition. If field is invalid, then we are returning the either true or false. As I told you, valid so far, it will tell you previous any of the previous fields are valid or not. If previous fields are valid, then it will return the valid. If any of the previous fields are false, then it will return the false. And what is this input component that get? As I told you, it will tell you that it will return the true if the user, if input, if the field is valid. If field not satisfied, if field is missed any condition, then it will return the false value. Okay, now in this next line, what we are doing, we are checking this. So this final value, it will get either, if every field is true, then it will get the true value. If any field false, then it will get the false value. So if it is true, all form entries look valid, or else we are displaying that please update the invalid form. So let's go back and just enter the values. submit. See, all forms entries look valid, ready to submit. So this is the way you want to validate entire form. You can validate in this fashion. So it is a dynamic and it will reduce the lot of code. So usually what is the controller? So in this example I explained how component controller bind each other and how you do uh, how you can handle the events inside the component. Okay. So just I want to here I have mentioned the required. Not only required, you can use the any other like min length, max length. So any condition you can write. If it is the min, if you write min length, if user not entered minimum characters, then obviously your condition will fail and error message will be displayed. The important thing is you can use this v dot validity along with your lightning colon input tag. So lightning colon input tag always gives you this option to validate. There are a lot of other properties as well. You can check that pattern and these things along with this valid. So always better to use v dot validity. So guys, in my next session, next video I will explain what is the helper and the style, and when we use the helper and style, and how we can call that init function and handlers and these things. So if you like my video, please subscribe my channel, because I'm going to post more videos, and I am planning to um, make a videos on more critical uh, concepts. So if you don't want to miss it, please subscribe the channel, and if you have any inputs where I can improve myself, please do post, and let me know if you want to know any specific topics. So have a nice day. Thank you.